Did you know that Hawley Alliance Church started in 1936 when Reverend J.A. Schmidt put up a tent on 6th Street in Hawley?
The first meetings were held on July 27th, 1936. The meetings grew in interest and size, and the tent was filled about every night to capacity. And then on September 13th, 1938, work began on a new church building on the corner of 3rd and Joseph. And the church was officially incorporated on September 19th, 1938.
Well, we've been doing some investigation and we've found out there's a few folks that still remember coming to the tent when it was on 6th Street, right in the center of Hawley. So come along with us as we go talk to them and try to get some memories of days gone by. Let's go.
Okay. Come on.
Our first interview is with Oris Myron. Oris was born September 24th, 1928. He is the only son of Oscar and Clara Selina Myron. He lived in Rolog until the 2nd grade and then moved to Hawley. Oris has 3 children and resides with his wife Karen in Hawley.
What we're here today is to talk about the tent that this church started its roots in 1936. And I heard through Augie Frisk that you actually were in that tent. And we just want to find out everything we can, what you can recall. Was it a colorful tent? Was it a drab tent? What did it look like?
It was like you would see at a carnival or something, you know. Nothing decorative.
Where did they have it set up?
You know where the lighthouse down here used to be?
Mm-hmm.
And the library? Right across the street from both of them.
Right in the middle of town almost.
Yeah.
Was it hot?
I remember some of those summers. They were very hot.
So when it got to be fall, what happened to the tent then?
They took it up when it got colder, you know.
Mm-hmm. How big do you think the tent was?
Probably was 25, 30 feet long.
And it must have been quite a thing to raise that tent and take it down. Do you think that drew a crowd when they did that?
Well, you know, you ever watched the circus come to town, how fast they put up tents and stuff like that? Well, there wasn't a big crew up, but the people that were working with this church deal.
Was there a floor in the tent then too, or was it just the ground?
It was a dirt floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you sharing your memories of that tent. It's kind of neat because if your mother, if you think about that, she put her nickel or her dime in the offering plate, she really was a part. Your history would be a part of our church today here. So she helped that. So we thank you for coming today.
Our next stop brought us to Maynard Frisk. Maynard was born in 1924. He was born at home to Albert and Minnie Frisk. He was married to Leona and had 1 son. Maynard has resided in the Hawley area his entire life.
Hope he's home.
I don't know. We'll see.
Hi.
Hi, Maynard.
Welcome to this old house.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Come right in.
Yes. Should we go sit down over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be good.
We were talking to Oris earlier today, and he remembered going to the tent with his mother and his aunt. And what's your first recollection about that tent?
I was 12 years old and was there, I think, every night.
When you went, what was it pretty big inside? Was it?
Well, it was a tent, yeah, a pretty big tent. I suppose it would hold 50, 60 people or more, you know. Yeah.
Did they do like music every night?
The Reverend Schmidt and his wife, they would sing, I know.
Wow. Well, when you think back from if this all started with the tent,
Yeah.
and the people heard God's word there, and look where we're at today.
That's right, yeah. It's good for me to see what's going on.
Oh, absolutely. And that your parents were a part of that.
You betcha, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
did a good job.
Thank you.
Our last but not least stop of the day brought us to the Dlouhy sisters, Agatha and Alvina. They were born to Czechoslovakian circus-performing immigrant parents Manfred and Josephina Dlouhy. Agatha and Alvina never married and have resided in the Hawley area since 1936.
Well, I'm so thankful you let me come to your home and so that we could talk about the tent that Hawley Alliance started at. So maybe we should just start right now. Can you give me a little background of how you and your sister Alvina started coming to the tent?
Well, we used to work with the circus, but there was a tent in the town here, and we thought that there was a circus other than our circus that was in town, and we went in there, and after about a week, well, we both accepted the Lord then. And we just stayed. We went around then with that traveling tent revival, and we just quit with our circus act.
Oh. Well, Elvina, what about you? What are some of your memories of the tent?
Well, that tent was so much fun. We had a blast there, didn't we? Mm-hmm. The best thing was that we found the Lord there. Yep, and we got to do the music. I remember that music was just something, and we were singing and praising the Lord all the time, and it was such a wonderful time. We got that song that you used to do.
Oh, yes, Senator Tanya.
Yeah, I think we should do that. Okay, then.
Come on, get up.
Okay, I think we're going to do this now. And do you remember the words of the song?
I'll try.
I'm wondering if you should stand up.
Oh, fine. You're so bossy.
I know, but I know how you used to say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I know how you used to play. There's a tent in the center of town, and the people are losing their frowns, 'cause they think they'll go there and see lions and bears in the tent in the center of town. But it's all about the winning of souls, say the signs on the telephone poles. They say if you are blue, Jesus is calling you to the tent in the center of town. They say they're drawn in by the stripes on the awnings and the beautiful music inside, but they're drawn by the spirit that's pouring down on the tent in the center of town. And the time has come to move on to the next hurting throng, and they hope as they tear it apart, the tent will live on in their hearts. I once was lost, but now I'm found because of a tent in the center of town. A tent in the center of town. A tent in the center of town.
Yeah. So there you have it. First-hand history and testimony of how Hawley Alliance Church began.
A lot of hard work and dedication has gone into the building of Hawley Alliance Church. As you can see, you are sitting here today because of people listening to God, preaching out His Word, and carrying out His love.